solid caravan ideas out. Now, the hybrid caravan market is a bit complicated. I'm dividing it into campers and hybrid caravans. Campers basically got your soft floor, which is basically a tent on a box trailer. You got your hard floor soft sleeping, which means you have this thing that folds out and you always have a nice hard floor, so you're not standing in the wet if it rains. And you got your hard floor hard sleeping, like this TD van, which is it's a hard caravan, small hard caravan to sleep in, but you can fold out this tent section from it. So that's the next evolution of that. Your hybrid caravan start from a caravan and work backwards. Basically, you got they pop. You got pop vertical, popping ends, pop top. They pop everywhere. So the popping body is what they call a Kimberley camper. The back pops out and the whole top section pops up. You've got your popping ends. You've got your hard popping end. That's a MDC brand, and they pop out the back, but it's a hard pop out. All the surfaces are hard surfaces. The soft one, you can just see the end of the soft part pop out there. But your pop tops, that's a Rhino Max small caravan that pops up and pops out and pops everywhere. And you've got your back opening, that's a Windsor hybrid, the whole back opens up. So these hybrid caravans, they're pretty fancy, popping everywhere.
So these pop out mechanisms, like are they electrically operated, or can they be manual if you don't have power?
Most of them are manual. Okay. Some of them are electric. For example, that top one mid page, the Kimberley camper, that pop up is a electric one. Right. So, and some of the pop tops have a air sort of pole system to help them, but mainly they're manual.
Mainly they're manual.
Yeah. You don't really want the sort of complexity.
Yeah, that's okay. The last thing you want. Like, it should be as simple as possible.
Yeah.
With the context, yeah.
So hybrid campers examples. There's a company called MDC. They design in Australia and they build in China. So they get the nice design thoughts and the cheap operating costs. Their quality is about mid. They're not bad, but they're not fantastic either. For $40,000, you can get this XT. I think there's a 12 now. I don't think they sell a 10 now. You see the right end pops out hard to sleep in. There's a pop top, and you get the basic caravan feel, like a big bed, an internal seat, internal toilet and shower, and a couple of cupboards and a sink. The sort of more traditionally caravan effect within a small window in a camper, which is quite nice. The other extreme is in Brisbane, Patriot campers. They're like a premium end light small camper. So that's a X1, I think, Patriot X1. They're extremely high quality made. They're very good for forward driving, although caravans have their own problematic side of forward driving. And they normally have a rooftop tent, which is not always fantastic. But that X1 is probably going to cost you almost twice what the MDC does, and have only a fraction of the facilities. The difference is the weight and the quality of it.
So you mentioned it has a rooftop tent, which is not always fantastic. Right? Can you expand on that statement, please?
Well, you can see all that canvas there. Now, when that rains, if that canvas is wet, you're going to fold up wet canvas.
Right.
You don't want to fold up wet canvas, but you may not have much choice.
Yep.
Also, if you want to do things to them, you've got to reach up high to the tent, which is a bit hard. That brand is a very premium brand. I'm sure it's a good product. It's just in general, rooftop tents have their problems. The Kimberley camper, when it's running, sits inside that blue window. It pops out the back and pops up. It's quite amazing. You've got that small window when you're towing it, and yet you have a full-size bed. You have a toilet and shower inside. You cook inside, and everything's solid. There's no soft sections. Trouble is, it's real expensive. They're nearly $100,000 just for that. And this is a T-van camper, when it's all down, it looks like that. It's quite small. What I like about the sort of feasibility of this is that it's small. It's high quality, good forward drive for towing. It's a little bit heavy for what it looks like. It's very small. It's a little bit heavy for the size it looks at. But in a scenario where you pull up somewhere and it's pelting with rain and you just want to get into bed and that's it, you just walk around the back, pop the back, jump in, close it, and you're in the solid section. Everything's sweet. It's relatively small, but that's sweet. Normally you'd pop out this tent section and have a lot more space and have a toilet out there, but you have the option. So that, I think that's a nice option to have. But again, these things are really expensive. That T-van would be 70, 80,000, something like that. The modern ones, they're very well made, but very expensive. Now, vehicle mounted campers. Vehicle mounted, so when you're towing, towing is problematic for forward driving because the wheels aren't driven in the soft stuff. So that's bad, but you got the weight off the vehicle. When you've got a vehicle mounted camper, you're carrying all the weight on the vehicle, so weight is everything. Two basic are fixed and removable. Fixed is anything from a massive big, basically fixed caravan to a small little thing you glue on top. You've got your popping soft section, so there's one with a pop top that's got canvas and a pop top that's hard. That's a what they call an XP camper. The popping hard is probably in theory the best in that you have a low profile to drive, but you have good standing area and a nice big area when you stop, and there's no rain gets in, there's no canvas to have problems with. But again, they're expensive and they're complex, that sort of stuff. Removable ones, you're solid and you're popping. Solid, the sort of traditional caravan on the back of a truck sort of thing, and you have the fancy ones. That's a Alucab brand. I think it's called an Alucab Cayenne or something. That can be quite fancy too.
Yeah. So that's the one where you will reverse your truck into
yes.
it, and you can then clamp the shell
into
the truck.
So you can see on that caravan-y looking one, those poles.
Yep.
You can either hand wind them or use like a drill, a battery drill, and drop them down and then reverse it on and drop it down. The good thing is you can have a actual base camp and leave it there and go off full drive and have a base camp. That's very nice too. So vehicle mounted campers. So this is the most simplistic version. Basically, it's a fiberglass canopy. If you look carefully to the side tray, they've made the joint on the tray match the window, which is very nice. And you can even have some roof carrying capacity on top. So that fiberglass, that sort of B pillar, you want to call it that, is quite big and strong, and you can carry it on top. So that's the cheap option, which is quite cost effective. Another end of scale is the Tommy camper, which is basically an aluminium box on the back with a sleeping section on top with a hole at the back part, so you can walk into the back, stand up at the very back, go into the top section, or you normally don't go into the bottom section, you normally access that from the sides. That's a Tommy camper with about 20, start from about 20 odd grand. You'd normally spend about 30,000 doing them up, and that's the Alucab Cayenne. Same sort of basic concept done by a different manufacturer. Tommy's are made in Melbourne. Alucab is a South African brand, I think. And this is what the guy at work did with his Triton. He got a marine manufacturer to. It doesn't show it well. That's a very high quality black canvas on the back. It's a marine canvas, and underneath is the sort of doors you see above, but mesh thick aluminium and sort of high quality locks because it's a marine manufacturer, and that was about $6,000 that thing. But he can sleep in that, and he can also lock that as well. Being able to lock it's very important.